Hey! So, you're getting the PNG today because I didn't feel like doing a makeup look for this one. But I am going to be taking this character from Habromania and putting her into a coquette style. So, let's go. So, like I said, I'm going to be drawing Alice in like a more coquette-y outfit, I suppose, and also in my own style. So first I needed to trace over the base Alice to get an idea of like what her design would be. I did a bit of research, and when I say research, I mean I was just looking at the game either way because I'm already really a fan of this game. I was doing a bit of research into Alice's design, and she's supposed to have this very like bell-shaped silhouette, which I really wanted to keep, but I just could not get the dress short enough to be as like coquette-y as I wanted, and also keep that bell shape without making her like really floofy. And I didn't want her dress to be too puffy because that wasn't the shape or vibe that I was going for. I also color sampled from her original color palette because I wanted to keep all the colors the same, but the hair and skin just like did not look right with all the other pinky tones that I had, which obviously makes sense because it's a completely different color palette. So I did end up shifting those aside from the eyes. The eyes are the only part that have the same exact sampled color. Then I start trying to draw her in my style, and I started drawing her in like my more anime realistic style, completely forgetting that I'm supposed to be working on designing for a video game character. So I started over, and this time I tried to keep in mind like, okay, imagine this is a little character, you're gonna have to draw a lot, you are going to have to animate. So I tried to keep it simple. I have this like, one of my favorite styles that I have is like sort of chibi but like sort of realistic, like a semi chibi thing, and I really like that. I've also found it really easy, or like a lot better, to place like little dots and lines down for where the eyes and mouth are going to be. It really helps me to not have the facial features slide all across the face. That is an issue of mine that I have. And then also in this style, I made her arms longer than I normally would because in my last drawing video, I had noticed that a lot of the cartoons that I draw my inspirations from and like have longer arms than I do with my characters. So I was also thinking about Habromania and like just the general vibe that the characters are supposed to have, and having Alice, who is this normally very sweet and maybe even a bit naive character, mixed with coquette, and the idea of Wonderland makes me think that maybe she'd be like a bit not yandere-ish, but just like, you know, sweet exterior in order to like lure you in. So I don't know if you can tell from my sketch yet, but she's holding a knife behind her back. And it just occurred to me that I should have made at least one of her eyes green, because if you're a fan of the game, if you know, you know, but since she's a little bit crazy, I absolutely should have made one of the eyes green. But I also drew her with her eyes closed, and I wanted to change it for my miniature little sketch over there, but just the pose has to have the eyes closed. So I decided I would draw what you're seeing over on the left with a slightly more detailed style. This is my like preferred style, I suppose, of him making like a finished piece. And maybe if I was making a game and you had a close-up shot of a character's face, then this is what they would look like. They might be just a little bit too stylistically different to fit in the same game, but I don't know. But I did kind of just, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted an excuse for you to see the eye color because I really like the way that it pops against all the other pinky tones, and I just really wanted an excuse to like draw in a more painterly, like soft style, because it's so hard to not add extra detail when I'm trying to make like a simple character. I also feel that the sketch is still the strongest part of my drawing phase, and I wish I could capture the energy of the sketch better in the line art. I've been trying to do sketchier line art, and I think I achieved that somewhat here. It's very important to try out different brushes and to be okay with the fact that like your lines aren't perfectly and completely closed, but I still feel like I just lost some of the energy of the original sketches in my inking phase. So I also kind of noticed that by the time I was done, it didn't really look like Alice because I had changed her outfit, I changed her silhouette, and I changed her color palette. So like it kind of looks like a character that I made up, but I didn't make this character up. She's like very heavily based on Symphony Sonata's character. So I don't know if that's a success or a failure because I'm drawing it in a different style and I'm changing the colors and I'm changing nearly everything about the character, but I still wouldn't say that this is like my character that I made up. I don't know. I don't really know about like how to balance that. I also decided, since you cannot see the blue in Alice's eyes because they're closed, that I'd make the knife behind her back blue. And you'll see later when I start adding in the shadows that I like cover it up with the shadow some. So it kind of puts, not kind of, it does. It puts like some more pink over it. So there's no like true blue in any of that image, but I think it adds to like the sweetness of it. Looks like she's like beckoning you over, like, oh, like come over here, like just really quick, I have something I want to share with you. And well, she does have something that she wants to share with you, and she can share it with you, but only once. I decided to keep the shadows and the coloring very, very minimal on the little chibi version of her because, again, it's supposed to be as if she is a video game character that I'm going to have to animate over and over and over again. I got a little bit like soft shady on some parts of the shadows, which isn't too bad. Just hard cell shading is so hard for me to just do like 100%. I didn't blur anything on her leg, but like some of it I did blur a little bit. And then I got to do the more painterly part, which I was super excited about. I absolutely love shading like blush and skin. Let me know if you feel the same because it's just so fun to me. But also, while I was doing this part, I noticed like her eyes are wonky. Her eyes are totally wonky. It's when I should really fill in the whites of the eyes before I'm like deep into the coloring process, because once I fill in the whites of the eyes, I can actually see what shape they're 100% making, and they're absolutely making two different shapes. But it's kind of too late to go back and fix that now. So you live and you learn, I suppose. But I just wish I had caught that before, like as soon as I filled them in, I was like, oh, Miss Thing's eyes are two different shapes. But the actual coloring of the irises was super duper fun. I've been experimenting with the way that I draw eyes since like forever, and I really love the way that the way that these came out. I feel like I'm finally getting like my style down in terms of eyes. I don't know if you guys drew like when you were in middle school, but I swear like the thing I was most concerned with was, how am I going to draw eyes? I need to have solid eyes. If I can get eyes down, I can get anything else down. I also kind of wish that I went a little bit deeper with the like shadows and things in the hair, because this is the drawing where I'm supposed to go like a little bit harder on like changing like having more like extreme like values and just making it more painterly and detailed. It should look like one of those scary scenes from SpongeBob where there's like way too much detail. That's what I want. And I just feel like I could have pushed that a little bit further, but once again, you live and you learn. And finally, I just put a little bit of jelly on her face. I think that that's kind of cute, as if she might have ran into a piece of jam toast on a bad day. So I kind of feel like I learned a lot from this one. I do think it's really interesting how this pretty much does not look like the character anymore, so maybe that's a fail. Let me know what you think about this type of video. Child, I don't know what my next video is going to be about, and I don't know when I'm going to upload it, okay? I'm trying, I promise. But if you made it into this part of this video, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see ya when I see ya. Bye.